Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor is taking place on Saturday the 23rd of July. It is predictions time here at SCW. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now, leave any comments in the comment section. Please like and share the video as well. At the time of recording, we've got 5 matches announced for the show, and all of them championship matches as well. The ROH World Championship will be on the line. Jonathan Gresham defends against Claudio Castagnoli. The ROH World Television Championship is on the line with Samoa Joe defending against Jay Lethal. The ROH Women's World Championship is on the line with Mercedes Martinez defending against Serena Deeb. Wheeler Yuta, the ROH Pure Champion, will be defending against Daniel Garcia. And in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the ROH World Tag Team Championships, FTR, the champions, will be taking on the Briscoes in another potential match of the year candidates. So that's the matches there. Let's get straight into the predictions and let's talk about the ROH World Championship. We've got Jonathan Gresham defending against Claudio Castagnoli. And of course, Claudio was supposed to debut at this show. Tony Khan has revealed that. But of course, Claudio did debut at the Forbidden Door show with AEW going against New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was replacing Bryan Danielson, one of the best technical wrestlers in the world, in a technical masterclass match that was supposed to be against Zack Sabre Jr. Claudio, of course, had that match with Zack Sabre Jr., won that match as well, so arguably people will look and say that's one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. Jonathan Gresham, of course, he's been off our screens for a long time, returned on, of course, AEW Rampage. He took a bit of exceptions to this, wasn't very happy. He sees himself as one of the best technical wrestlers in the world, and of course, if you've watched ROH, seen him in those Pure Rules matches, seen him in any match, you will see that, hey, this guy, he's got a point. And to be fair, that helps build a match between these two. I think that there's actually a bit of storyline narrative, despite the fact that you could say this match has just been thrown together. There is a little bit of story narrative that can work with, though, for these two in that quick time. And if you look at things from then to now, Claudio Castagnoli has had a few matches in AEW. He's been undefeated. Jonathan Gresham, on the other hand, has had a change of character. He's turned heel on Lee Moriarty. He's joined Tully Blanchard Enterprises. He beat Moriarty in an ROH World Championship match, of course, just recently on Rampage. And that's when we got the match that was put together with Gresham and Castagnoli. So to go for a prediction, it's not very easy on this one because I can see it going either way, really. Gresham has just turned heel. He's now got a group by his side. He's with Tully Blanchard. It would make sense to have the heel stable look really, really strong. The champion as well being the top guy in the company. But Castagnoli as well is part of the Blackpool Combat Club as well. Let's not forget that. He's just debuted. He was meant to be at the show as a debut. So for that reason, you turn around and say, well, perhaps they would actually have him come in and win the championship. Maybe that was supposed to be the big shock and the big talking point coming out of this show. One other little small note as well that's been made on commentary during the Gresham versus Moriarty match that I'm going to take into account is that Excalibur said that Gresham has got a bit of a weak chin. The fact he's such a great technical wrestler and the way he does his in-ring style, he's actually let down when he has strikes done to him. What is Claudio best for? The uppercut. Of course, that's a big strike that's done to the chin. I think that that has been said for a reason. It's going to play into the narrative of the match. So for that reason, I am going to go for Claudio Castagnoli to become your brand new AEW World Champion. One other minor detail we should just take into account before going on to the next match. Tony Khan has not hidden the agenda that he's wanted his own wrestlers to be the champions in Ring of Honor. We've seen multiple championship changes up from when we had the old Ring of Honor to the new Ring of Honor. So if Gresham loses this championship to Claudio is the guy he wants to put forward as the face of Ring of Honor. It would make sense as well, being a former WWE guy, someone that's been in Ring of Honor before. Perhaps it's kind of like that, almost that Chris Jericho kind of becoming the first AEW World Champion. It's kind of having that sort of face of saying, this is a former WWE guy, we're going to push them, and then we get to a point later down the line when it feels like the right time to get someone else to hold that championship. And in the meantime, someone like Jonathan Gresham, maybe they can be upset with the Blackpool Combat Club, maybe can go for the Pure Rules Championship. Maybe that's something that's more down his avenue for the meantime as a part of the new Ring of Honor rather than being in the main event scene. Now, I mentioned the Pure Championship. Let's talk about that match. One of the matches I'm most excited for on this show. Wheeler Yuta defending the championship against Daniel Garcia. Garcia, of course, had attacked Yuta on AEW Dark. And of course, we've had the Blackpool Combat Club going against the JAS. Both of these guys are phenomenal technical wrestlers. I think that this is going to be an absolute spectacle. I cannot wait to see it. But judging off my previous prediction there, I think Gresham could have a problem with the Blackpool Combat Club, could perhaps have a problem with another member of the Blackpool Combat Club in Wheeler Yuta. That could be a feud they could go into a future show for the Pure Championship in a Pure Rules match. So for that reason, I think Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta is going to be amazing, but I'm going to go for Wheeler Yuta to retain the Blackpool Combat Club. It's going to be their night here at Death Before Dishonor. Next, let's talk about the ROH Television Championship. Samoa Joe defending against Jay Lethal. Of course, Samoa Joe has been a mentor to Jay Lethal over the years. But of course, Jay Lethal has taken exception since Samoa Joe returned to Ring of Honor. Of course, at the Supercard of Honor, Samoa Joe very quickly became the television champion, defeating Minoru Suzuki for that prize, which was a fantastic match, by the way. And Jay Lethal has pretty much taken exception ever since. Samoa Joe has been off TV for quite a while now, but he is going to return to this show. How is this match going to go down? Well, we can't take out of account that Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt will be in Jay Lethal's corner. I do feel personally that I've gone babyface is picking up victories so far. A heel has got to pick up a victory somewhere. Jay Lethal for me hasn't done so much since going to AEW, not enough to what we perhaps could have expected from him. Now I think he's going to be more featured with Ring of Honor going forward. Of course, it's a company that means so much to him. I think that he could become the next television champion personally, in my humble opinion. I'm not sure of the conditioning with Samoa Joe, if he's injured at the moment or if it's just, you know, he's back and ready to go and will be, you know, able to continue afterwards. But personally, I got a funny feeling we've got a new champion coming here. Jay Lethal will be my prediction. Next, let's talk about the ROH Women's World Championship match. We've got Mercedes Martinez defending against Serena Deeb. These two were teammates not so long ago. They were on AEW Rampage. But of course, they actually, rather than working together, was more how they could one-up one another, hurting their opponents in the process, getting quick victories, being very dominant. But of course, they could have remained on the same page. And well, there's no Women's Tag Team Championship, so it didn't take long for Serena Deeb to turn on Mercedes Martinez. Although to be fair, I wouldn't have been surprised had it been the other way around either. In my personal opinion, I've got to be a bit sort of harsh here. I'm not really into Mercedes Martinez as the ROH Women's World Champion. Now, personally for me, I've seen her across multiple different promotions now with NXT, WWE, Impact Wrestling, now here with AEW and Ring of Honor. I haven't seen anything for me that really stands out of why I should connect with this character at the moment. It seems very generic monster heel that just doesn't seem to be given good storylines to work with. I'm kind of going to blame creative across the board, but I think when it's in so many places as well, sometimes you have to look at the performer a little bit as well. For me, Serena Deeb, I think, would be a great shout for Ring of Honor and the Women's World Championship. I think that she's got a great, technical in-ring style that really fits with the promotion, really fits with the vision and the dynamic of the company moving forward. Personally, if it was my choice, and I'm actually going to predict with heart over head for this one, I'm going to go for Serena Deeb to become your ROH Women's World Champion. Last but not least, let's talk about the ROH Tag Team Championships. FTR defending against the Briscoes. This is a rematch from Supercard of Honor earlier this year, a match of the year candidate as well. These two teams absolutely knocked it out of the park the last time they faced each other. They're facing each other again here, and how is a way to up the ante? It's 2 out of 3 falls, which I think really adds a bit of exciting dynamic to this match, because, well, I do think it would have been fantastic either way, but you could say, well, how is it going to top the first encounter? Adding this stipulation keeps with the theme of what Ring of Honor represents, but also adds some drama and excitement, and I think could really tell a good story when we watch this play out. Both teams, in my opinion, will pick up a fall in this match. I mean, FTR, they're on a completely different level right now. They're as well AAA Tag Team Champions, IWGP Tag Team Champions. Fans are crying out for them to win the AEW World Tag Team Championships as well. I mean, maybe they can go and complete the set, go to Impact as well, and then try and go through WWE's Forbidden Door at this rate. They are that damn good. But if you look on the other side, the Briscoes, I think they've reminded people who they are this year. Their stock has not been this high for a while. They had a fantastic match, like I say, at Supercard of Honor. They've been tearing up in Impact Wrestling as well, becoming Impact Tag Team Champions at a stage as well. So for me personally, I'm excited to see how this match is going to go down. Like I say, they're at least going to get 1 fall each, but of course, FTR, they're the champions, they're the team on the roll right now. They've got all the tag team titles. They will be retaining here for me. And with the Briscoes, I know they're not signed long-term to Impact Wrestling, so It's interesting to see if they'll be coming over to Ring of Honor eventually full-time, or if they'll be staying in Impact, or doing a bit of both. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe the Forbidden Door can work in that way, and ROH can work with Impact Wrestling. That's something I would be quite open-minded seeing going forward. But certainly for this night, for this occasion, it's going to be a fantastic match between these two teams, but FTR will pick up the victory and retain those championships. Now, before I leave you, I've got a bold prediction to give you, but just before I do, I expect more matches will be added to this show in the undercard. Of course, we've got Countdown to Death Before Dishonor as well. That'll be a YouTube show probably, as well, being on Fight and Bleacher Report and all the rest of it. So I expect we can see the likes of Colt Cabana, Dalton Castle, Silas Young and Josh Woods probably be announced for the show. We had a few people that were in and around the show previously as well that could be called back in, maybe like an Alex Zane, for example. We'll have to wait and see what will happen with that. But if more matches are announced, I will look to try and do a separate upload for you here on YouTube, so you get to know all the other matches that added to the show. I'll give you quick predictions for those as well. And before I leave you, that bold prediction then, I think Tony Khan will be on this show, and I think he will announce some form of deal for Ring of Honor to do a weekly show going forward. Whether that is a streaming service, maybe it could even be a television deal. Ring of Honor will be here to stay, and we can start establishing perhaps a roster, how everything's going to look going forward, and get a real true vision of what the new Ring of Honor will be like as we go out of its 20th anniversary, and we can see what it's going to lead to for the next year, 2, perhaps even 5 years under the vision of Tony Khan. But that's my predictions there for you. Let me know your predictions for Death Before Dishonor in the comments below. I look forward to interacting with you. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do like, share and subscribe as well. I will look to do a couple more ROH videos for you this week on the channel, so make sure to turn the notifications to all, each and every time then a video is released here on the channel. But that's all from me. Check out these videos on the side of your screen in the meantime. Thanks for watching as always. You've been watching SCW here on YouTube. Take care. Have a great day.